Welcome back, everyone. We are in our series Baking Bread, and today we're going to make some burger buns, but specifically brioche burger buns, which are going to be nice, soft, and spongy, with the addition of something called tanzong, which I will show you all later in the video. Make these in batches, freeze them, or eat them straight away, but all your guests are going to thank you because you're going to have the best burgers in town with these amazing buns. Right, so let's get to it.
So first, let's make the tanzong paste. Measure out 60 milliliters of whole milk, 25 milliliters of water, and 20 grams of all-purpose flour. The purpose of the tanzong is to make the bread more fluffy and a longer shelf life by pre-gelatinizing part of the starch in the flour, and that's going to help it absorb more water. Cook out the roux till it looks like this, nice and thick. Set that aside and let it cool down completely before adding. Measure out 130 grams of whole milk. We're going to make sure this is warmed up to about 103 Fahrenheit there. Then measure out 9 grams of active dry yeast, and we're going to add this to our lukewarm milk to bloom the yeast. This is a good way to check to see if your yeast is alive. Cover this, come back to it in 5-10 minutes, and it should be foaming and frothy. Then you're going to need 1 whole egg and an egg yolk. Set this aside. Then measure out 340 grams of all-purpose flour, 30 grams of sugar, and 7 grams of salt. It's easier to do this all in the stand mixer bowl, because then you can mix it all in one. Then you're going to measure out 45 grams of unsalted butter. Right, now mix your flours on a low speed first, just to incorporate, about a minute or two. Then we're going to add our bloomed yeast and lukewarm milk mixture. Then add your cooled tanzong paste and let this mix for about a minute or two. Then we're going to add in our egg yolks. Let that mix for about another minute. And then we're going to start putting in our butter bit by bit. Don't add it all at once. Wait till the butter is incorporated before you add the next lot. Once it's all in like this, then we are going to turn up our stand mixer onto full. Now watch out at this stage, because your stand mixer will think it's a horse and start jumping off your counter if you leave it unattended, a bit like this. So just make sure you're securing it and you've got your hands on it. Now you've got this on full. It's going to go for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then your dough should look like this. Should have a beautiful color and smell from the butter. That is the joy of brioche. Now lightly flour the surface. Use your bench scraper here if the dough's a little bit sticky. And we're going to just form this into a ball, but we're going to give the dough a little bit of strength. So just fold it over from the bottom like this, flip it over, turn it into a ball, and we're going to put it into a bowl that has been greased. This makes sure that your dough does not stick into your bowl. Okay, now just shape this like this until you get a nice ball, and then use your bench scraper, pick that up, and put that straight into your greased bowl. Cover it with a tea towel and let it rise for 1 to 2 hours or until doubled in size. If your kitchen was cold, like mine was today, you can also put it in your oven. After 2 hours, mine looked like this. This is the most satisfying part. Degassing your dough. Put your fist through and gently see it degas. Plenty satisfaction indeed. Now we're going to portion these into 100-gram dough ball. Doesn't matter if you've got a few little scrappy bits. We will roll them into individually round balls. Once you've portioned them all, this is how you roll them into a burger bun. Start by pinching and folding all the corners and edges over to a middle point. Lift it up, pinch down at the bottom, and then use your thumb and your index finger and gently roll like you're doing a bear claw. You can also do this technique where you use your fingers and pull the dough towards you. Either way, you will have a beautiful round ball like this. Put them onto a baking sheet and space them about 3 or 4 inches apart, because these are going to rise and we don't want them to stick together. When you get good, you can do 2 at once like this. Plenty skills. Then flatten down with the palm of your hand. Put a cloth on the buns and let them rise for about an hour till they've almost doubled in size, like these beautiful bad boys. Now we're going to egg wash these. When you're egg washing, don't put on too much at once. Just put on a little bit, start from the top, and then do the sides. Too many people put far too much egg wash on their buns or bread, and then all that happens is you just get a ring of egg on the bottom, which just cooks around the bun, and it does not look good. At this stage, add some toppings. I'm adding some nigella seeds. You can also use sesame seeds. I'm only doing this to a couple of buns because I need these for a later sandwich. Bake these in a preheated oven at 375 Fahrenheit for 15 to 18 minutes. You may need to rotate them like this if you're doing multiple ones. Your buns should come out of the oven looking like this. Just look at this amazing color. They smell goddamn delicious. For optional step, brush them with a little melted butter fresh out of the oven. This just gives a little bit of extra luxury and makes them nice when you're toasting them later. Just look at those buns. They're so pretty. And when you don't over egg wash your buns, the bottom looks perfect like these. And there you have it, amazing burger buns. You can store these in the freezer once they're cooled, individually wrap them and then store them in a freezer bag. Look how beautiful the crumb is, they smell divine. Now you know you've made these right because you can do this. Push it and it should spring back. That's when you know you have some really good quality bread. And there you have it, friends. Please like, comment and subscribe. Happy baking.